guys, it's Diksha and I'm back again with another video for you all. And today I just wanted to talk to you about my love for Agatha Christie. So when it comes to reading books, if I'm going through a reading slump, I always end up picking up a book that I'm familiar with or an author I'm familiar with. Around that, it's always Agatha Christie that I pick up. So when I started reading, I was what? 5, 6? Like reading all of myself kind of thing. My mom gifted me a copy of Secret 7. Sorry, I'm drinking tea. She gifted me a copy of The Secret 7 by Enid Blyton. I was so much in love with it and I wanted to read more books like such. Then I jumped into Nancy Drew, then I started reading Hardy Boys, and then I switched into different type of genres, be it literary, non-fiction, historical, anything and everything. But then at the end, I always realized one thing. I have a weird inclination towards detective stories or like towards crime and thriller. Another reader friend of mine, Ankita, she always used to share her love for Agatha Christie, and she used to always tell me which one's good, which one's not. And then I also picked up a couple of copies myself after I watched the entire series of Hercule Poirot, which I love. It was, I think, by BBC, yes. So eventually I started reading a lot of Agatha Christie books and I loved them so much. So today I just want to talk to you about Agatha Christie and the books that I have read and why do I really like her. So without much further ado, let's get on with the video. So I technically do not remember the first book I read by Agatha Christie, but I know I've read quite a few, not a lot, but yeah, good number of them, so I know I'm like pretty happy and excited about them. I'm just going to talk to you about the books that I have read and the books I have with me. I think almost a couple of years back my sister gifted me this box set of Agatha Christie. It was a 3 set book that had The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, ABC Murders, and Murder on the Orient Express. So out of that I read, oh no, there was And Then There Were None. Yeah, not ABC Murders. So yeah, I read And Then There Were None. I watched the movie as well. I read Murder on the Orient Express. I haven't watched the movie. I read The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and out of those 3, I would say my all-time favorite has been Murder of Roger Ackroyd, and then comes And Then There Were None, and then comes Murder on the Orient Express. Starting from And Then There Were None, that was a book that actually made me think about various possibilities, weirdly. So I watched the movie first and I didn't understand what exactly was happening because I was young when I watched that movie. Then I think a few months back I started reading the book and that made me go into the flashback of the entire story. What I really liked about that book was the way the entire book was around one single nursery rhyme, and that was so beautifully done. And by the end, when you reach towards the last segment of the book or the entire scene, you literally get this weird vibe and you end up thinking, oh my god, every single person might die. There will be no one alive, and like, oh my, who's gonna tell the entire story? And then comes a plot twist when the guy comes in and helps out the girl, and the main person who actually tried to create the entire hallucinated scenario ends up killing, and he always says that never trust a woman. I remember that line because it was used in the movie as well as in the book, and I really love that thing. Actually got stuck in my head, and it was that particular book was so nicely done, and it made me give so many ideas eventually as well, because I like to write a couple of stories or like do a bit of script writing and things just for myself, fun's sake, and that kind of helped me a lot. I don't know why. Maybe I started incorporating that in something or the other, but it really did help me out. Then followed by I read The Murder of Roger Ackroyd. This one is my mother's favorite as well. It is my favorite as well because by the time you reach towards the end, you already have so many plots going on in your own mind. But the ending, the last twist that comes in, and that entire room, it actually, although it's a room where the entire thing is investigating, all the investigation is happening, but in my mind it always goes back to a courtroom drama. it has been done. It's one of the, it's actually one of the well created scenario where you will have so many things, number of things to think about, and eventually you'll be like, what do I do? How do I save myself from this craziness? But yeah, this is one of my all-time favorite books. I'm not gonna give any rating to any of Agatha Christie book because I don't think so. I should. There shouldn't be a thing. But yeah, I'm not going to go into the proper detailing as in what the book is about or what. I'm just going to do a mini review of the entire series because these are the books that you really should read. Like a must, especially if you're like a crime thriller lover. Then comes The Hollow. This one was recommended to me by Ankita, Moment Sapien. The Moment Sapien. Anyhow, I'll be linking her handle name in the description box below. You can go and check her out. She reads a lot of Agatha Christie. So this one I read as per her recommendation. The minute there was a body in front of a swimming pool, I was like, my mind was blown to some other level and I couldn't find it because it was out of the question. I didn't realize that this could happen, but it was so beautifully laid right in front of you. There's always a subplot to a plot, and there's a further subplot and subdivision that keeps on happening beneath the entire story. You think about one particular character, you'll start liking the character, you'll be like, oh, you're the best character ever, but then turns out the worst of all. And you will want to blame yourself like hell, but that's what happened. There was this one particular scene in this book where one of the character, he tries to commit suicide because he doesn't understand what exactly is going around, but he is like one of those who knows or who thinks that they are not being loved, that they can never be loved, and how his life changes from one side to the other. There's a subplot of happy relationship developing, there's like rage, there is craziness, there's murder, there's Hercule Poirot. What else do you want? Then I read Murder on the Orient Express. I was mind blown by the ending, of course. What I really liked out of all, what I've noticed is Agatha Christie really tries to do a lot of detailing when it comes to characters. But out of the number of books that I've read, the best of all regarding the character detailing is, as per me, in Murder of the Orient Express. The number of characters that has been there in it, along with the sub-characters and along with the various relations or like the trees or like the branches that comes around in terms of different characters, it's beautiful. And the best part is she writes what, 300 or 400 number of pages? I'm also saying that a lot. Yeah, 300 pages tops, 350. And how she ends up incorporating all those characters, all those stories into one, and then combining them and creating a main core headline sort of a story that actually is where you should understand or like focus about, but you end up thinking about various different characters that makes you divert, that like literally diverts your mind, and you forget about the main person who actually created or committed that entire crime. And there comes the entire subtly she comes in and like tells you who the murderess is. It's like something, it's like a poetic crime thriller book that she writes, and that's actually what makes me love her so much. Then after that I listened to Dead Man Folly, and I was reading this with a fellow bookstagrammer, Aisha Reads. I'll be linking her handle in the description box below. You can go and check her out. We started with this alternative months of reading Agatha Christie because we love her and we wanted to read all the more. Again, when it comes to that book, it's in a carnival scenario where the entire thing happens. There's a scavenger's hunt that is going on, and a girl who was supposed to act like dead ended up being dead. And how and why and what, you don't want to think about that because you end up thinking how in a carnival where everything was plotted properly, it was a fair where everything was like properly planned out, but a person ends up dying. Although it's something that you think, okay, it's a very common thing that can happen, but the main aspect of the entire storyline is how and why. Why would a person die? Such a beautiful young girl. Is there a reason behind it? What exactly is the... And then it goes back to the actual phase where actually the entire scenario was trying to focus on in the future. It's like, it's again a masterpiece. When it comes to crime and thriller, best. Although I haven't read Sherlock Holmes because I have watched the entire series by Jeremy Brett, which was done by, again, BBC. No, granted, BBC. It was, what I really like about these series is that they really help you out in understanding these kind of a thing, or like they try to reach out to more people, especially those who are not really into reading. So I really liked it. Then lastly, I'm currently reading Appointment with Death. And I have, read few pages. I'm like a couple of pages down. I still don't know what exactly happens, or like why would anything happen, but I only know that there is somebody trying to plot a murder, and that is going to be pretty interesting. Because another thing is that couple of Agatha Christie books, in the beginning you'll know there's a murder happening because she ends up telling you out blurtly, but how, why, when, whether, that is beautifully done. So I am kind of literally blabbered a lot about Agatha Christie books and the ones that I really love. And so yeah, I think out of all I've read, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 books, and it's like amazing. It's like your childhood served in a plate. I don't know what I'm saying. Anyhow, I've been talking a lot of crime thrillers a lot lately, but yeah, these are the books that I've read by Agatha Christie. If you have also read, or if you're an equal fan of her, please leave in the section comment below so that we can like talk about it. And also, if you have any good recommendation when it comes to Agatha Christie books, please tell me. I would love to either listen or read. Nowadays, I started doing e-read a bit. I'm trying to, so let's see how that happens. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Even if you didn't, do subscribe because that's how it rolls. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll be off again, coming back with another video soon. Till then, bye bye.